the amber room. The maples are bleeding on the driveway outside. There's nowhere left for a summer love to hide. I'm sweeping up the gold and the copper and the rust, turning all our always into a handful of dust. The tea in my porcelain is bitter and brown, while the weight of the evening comes settling down. With nothing but silence to ring in my ear. I found your old compass in the drawer by the bed, but it won't point the way to the words that we said. The north is a mountain, the south is a sea, and neither one's bringing you back home to me. I'm pulling my sweater tight against the chill, watching the shadows climb over the hill. First comes the frost, then comes the cost. Everything found is eventually lost. The hearth is a cavern, the fire is a ghost, and I'm just the shadow of the one you love most. Let the leaves fall, let the winter come in. I'm losing the sun. Where do I begin? Amber and ash and you. The tide is retreating, leaving lace on the shore, and I don't wait for your knock on my door anymore. I've wrapped myself up in this silver silk shawl. Why watching the shadows start to climb up the wall. The jasmine is heavy, it's thick in the air, like a secret I'm keeping that I no longer share. Oh, it's a taste of the salt and a sip of the wine. I'm untying the knots that used to entwine. The moon is a sliver of a broken glass plate, and I'm learning that early is just another late. Let the Mediterranean carry the blue. I'm drifting away from the harbor of you. I found a gold earring in the sand by the chair, a glint of a summer that's no longer there. The whitewashed walls are beginning to gray as the heat of the afternoon withers away. I could light up the lanterns, I could call out your name, but the wind and the water don't whisper the same. Slowly, the horizon is blurring the line. Only the ghosts of the olive and pine. I'm pouring my heart in a ceramic jar and wishing on a falling, forgotten star. Oh, it's a taste of the salt and a sip of the wine. I'm untying the knots that used to entwine. The moon is a sliver of a broken glass plate, and I'm drifting away from the harbor of you. Just the salt, just the silk. The sky is the color of honey and milk. Madeleine, bon voyage, my love, bon voyage. To me. Rose and porcelain, the frost is etching lace across the garden gate. The heavy pond is sleeping beneath the silver weight. I'm breathing mist against the cold and hollow air, watching for a footprint that was never really there. The ivy's turned to iron, the roses turned to bone. I'm learning how to garden in a winter on my own. Oh, it's a brittle kind of beauty, a sharp and jagged grace. I'm searching for the color in a pale and porcelain place. The thermometer is falling like a feather in the deep, while all the promises we planted have gone to bitter sleep. Yeah, the world is wrapped in linen, the sky is made of lead, and I'm just counting a scrap of winter fabric that you tailored just for me. But the wool is getting thin and the threads are coming loose, just like the tired reasons and the worn out old excuse. I could light a pile of cedar, I could try to melt the ground, but the ice is much too thick for any fire I have found. North wind, colder than a ghost, the thing I miss is the thing I needed most. The berries are red like a drop of summer wine, staining the white of this lonely design. Oh, it's a brittle kind of beauty, a sharp and jagged grace. I'm searching for the color in a pale and porcelain place. The thermometer is falling like a feather in the deep, while all the promises we planted have gone to bitter sleep. Let the snow fall, let the garden disappear. I'll see you in the spring of a much better year. Just the frost and the white good night. Ink and parchment, the library is breathing through a thick and dusty lung. Songs of golden eras that have long since been unsung. I'm leafing through the margins of a novel without names, watching how the sunset turns the leather into flames. The fountain pen is leaking, leaving bruises on my thumb, while I wait for a vocabulary that will never come. Oh, it's a story told in shorthand, a riddle in the ink. I'm standing on the precipice, too tired now to blink. You're a chapter I've folded, a sentence left to hang, the echo of a copper bell that never really rang. I'm filing all our memories at a candle nevermore, turning every paragraph to a heavy plume of smoke. I found a pressed carnation in a book of ancient maps, a brittle stage, but I'm just a quiet captive in a paper-woven cage. A pause I can't define, reading between every crooked, jagged line. The ink is a river, the paper is a shore, and I don't recognize the handwriting anymore. Oh, it's a story told in shorthand, a riddle in the ink. I'm standing on the precipice, too tired now to blink. You're a chapter I've folded, a sentence left to hang, the echo of a copper bell that never really rang. Close the butch and the page, clear the book before the rain, the end, just the flat needed, staring with a cold and plastic eye. I'm cutting through the satin where the jagged edges lie. The sewing machine is humming like a drone against the floor, while I'm measuring the distance to the handle of the door. Thimbles on my fingers and a fever in my chest, putting all these heavy velvet memories to rest. Oh, it's a frayed and fragile pattern, it's a seam that's come apart. I'm stitching up the hollow spaces hiding in my heart. You're a suit that never fitted, you're a color out of style, hidden in the shadow of a runway-ready smile. The bobbin's running empty and the fabric's getting thin. I'm wearing out the patience of the skin that I am in. I found a silver safety pin beneath the cutting rug, a sharp and tiny reminder of a cold and formal hug. The mirrors in the hallway are all leaning to the side, reflecting every secret that a tailor couldn't hide. I could dye the cotton crimson, I could bleach the linen white, but I can't undo the weaving of a long and lonely night. Snip the wire, burn the lace, find a much more elegant place. The runway is narrow, the lights are too bright, and I'm stepping out of the garment tonight. Oh, it's a frayed and fragile pattern, it's a seam that's come apart. I'm stitching up the hollow spaces hiding in my heart. You're a suit that never fitted, you're a color out of style, hidden in the shadow of a runway ready smile. Tailor-made, but the color starts to fade. One last stitch, one last fold, something old. Goodbye, the designer. Goodbye, the dress. The empty canvas, the turpentine is stinging in the corners of the room. Brushes soaking slowly in the heavy afternoon. I'm mixing up a pigment that I've never seen before, watching liquid shadows puddle on the wooden floor. The easel standing crooked like a skeleton of pine, waiting for a vision or a single honest line. Oh, it's a blur of charcoal sketches and a wash of lonely gray. I'm scrubbing out the features of a wasted yesterday. You're a portrait in the attic, you're a frame without a face, a masterpiece of clutter in a hollow-hearted space. The varnish is still sticky and the palette's running dry. I'm painting over every hello and every goodbye. I found a smear of ochre on the collar of my shirt, a permanent reminder of the way we used to flirt. But the canvas is a desert and the water is a wall. I'm watching every statue start to stumble and to fall. I could use a heavy chisel, I could try to carve the air, but I'd only find the vacancy of you not being there.
Faintly blue, secondary you, a tint of regret that hasn't dried yet.
The oil is thick.
The turpentine's thin,
Where does the art end?
and the artist begin.
Oh, it's a blur of charcoal sketches and a wash of lonely gray. I'm scrubbing out the features of a wasted yesterday. You're a portrait in the attic, you're a frame without a face, a masterpiece of clutter in a hollow-hearted space.
White on white,
Out of sight,
close the gallery.
turn out the light.
Just a sketch,
Nothing more. Step away from the canvas. The glass conservatory, the humidity is rising in this cage of iron and pain, while the fern is drinking deeply from the pipes of artificial rain. I'm pruning back the wilder vines that tangle round my wrist, searching for a blossom that the sunlight might have missed. damp and heavy, smelling sweet of ancient rot. I'm weeding out the feelings that I thought I had forgot. Oh, it's a greenhouse of illusions, a tropical mistake. I'm tending to the roots of every heart I had to break. You're a rare and hungry orchid, you're a petal made of wax, hiding in the foliage of the things our garden lacks. The steam is on the goggles and the oxygen is low. I'm watching how the weeds begin to stifle and to grow. I found a rusted trowel buried in the potting shed, next to all the lilies that we accidentally led. But the compost is a furnace and the seeds are made of lead. I'm grafting new beginnings to a story that is dead. I could build a tile or trellis, I could fertilize the ground, but I'm choking on the perfume of the silence I have found. Chlorophyll, standing still, the thorns are sharp, and they always will. The canopy is closing, the ventilation's gone. How can a garden keep carrying on? Oh, it's a greenhouse of illusions, a tropical mistake. I'm tending to the roots of every heart I had to break. You're a rare and hungry orchid, you're a petal made of wax, hiding in the foliage of the things our garden lacks. Break the glass, let the seasons pass out of the steam into the grass. No more water, no more heat, wild and the brat's pendulum. The workbench is cluttered with 1,000 tiny gears. The grinding of the metal is the only song I've heard in years. I'm oiling up the escapement and I'm tightening the mainspring, waiting for the copper bird to find its voice and sing. The tweezers are trembling in the lamplight's yellow glare, while I'm hunting for a second that is no longer there. Oh, it's a mechanical heartbreak, a friction in the soul. I'm winding up the wreckage just to feel a bit of control. You're a stripped out screw, you're a balance wheel off track, a pocket watch with broken hands that never can go chocolate-lined tray, a jagged little souvenir of a synchronized yesterday. But the gravity is heavy and the lever's stuck in place. I'm losing all the symmetry inside this empty case. I could polish up the numbers, I could recalibrate the chime, but I can't repair the damage of a mismatched piece of time. Tick, tick, the pulse is getting thick, winding, grinding, the momentum is a trick. The calendar is jagged, the hour is a weight, and every single heartbeat is a minute late.